Now on this video, I'm going to try to show how to set up a Harbor Freight spray gun. It's a relatively inexpensive piece of equipment that I've used for many, many years in my shop. I've gotten some pretty good results out of it. It's a basic information for people that are learning how to paint or have never painted before. Good basic information. I hope you benefit from this video.
Thought I'd do, and I thought this would be something that would be of some value to some people in our circle of friends, circle of family and friends. Some people, now let's start at the very beginning. Anybody doesn't know where Harbor Freight is, either online or in the real world, you should. You can get the coupons, you get another 20% off. Now this is I wanted to show like a box opening of one of these. I don't think I've ever done this. You buy this, and let me just get this apart, since we're not saving the box. We don't really care about the box, like we're going to return it. The basic thing, why is this a good gun for our use? Basically, if I had $300-400, you can start buying professional grade guns. If you're going to use them all day, every day, there'd be some advantage, I'm sure. But for a hobbyist like I am, or somebody that does this not full-time, not 8 hours a day, this is a fine tool. Now, the price is usually about $14, but you always get 20% off. But there's a couple of do's and don'ts on these, and I thought I'd share them. And this is like what I call an unboxing. The kids that do Hot Wheels, oh, it's an unboxing. Let's see what it looks like. Well, basically they give you directions. They're of some value. If you've never painted anything ever before, you'll want this. There's a warranty. Not sure for a $9 spray gun you want a warranty. They give you a cleaning brush, which is useful, so we can save that. But here's the part, maybe that there's some information here that would be of some value. You take this out of the package. You take this out of the package. Now let's pretend you've never ever painted anything in your life. You bought a compressor, and it can be the smallest little pancake compressor. You'll just have to wait as it builds up pressure. You can't, like you're painting a car. For painting a motorcycle, you can paint with a pancake compressor. A couple of things that are important with this. The threads, they've changed these threads over the years. Some are fine threads, some are a rougher thread, and they don't interchange. So the first thing I try, boy, I'm getting a cold. First thing I always try is make sure they didn't have an old cap and a new one, because if you don't have a matching set, it'll leak. If it leaks, you can put masking tape around here, or I put a sock around, Gorilla Tape. Your vent cap is right here. You want to keep that open. This is very, very simple to do. You don't want to use a wrench on this. You want it to be hand tight. A lot of times if it's loose, now that's just hand tight, and I'm certainly not a bodybuilder, it can drip. One drip here. If you notice my spray guns, they always have some paint on them. Because I have the paint on basically on my gloves and everything. Doesn't change anything. It's fine. So once this is tight, you notice right on the cap, it tells you can go 20 to 70 pounds. Well, the reason I'm showing this, I just turned this into a big airbrush. I used 20-25 pounds. Not sure our compressor's gauges are that accurate anyway, but low pressure. This is the fan adjustment. What this means is if I turn this one way, it's going to make the fan very small. If I turn it all the way the other way, it's going to widen it up. Very easy to adjust, self-explanatory. This is a little pressure tap. In here it tells you what pressure you can use. If I turn this out, I'm going to have more pressure. In, I'm going to have less pressure. Now what I do, I bypass this all the way. I just open this up all the way. And I adjust the pressure at the compressor for whatever I want, because I have a very accurate gauge on the compressor. This is going to allow you to put, if you turn this in, less pressure. You turn it out, material, I should say. So, but the good place to start, and this is your dead stop, a good place to start, what I found is I've taken these right out of the box, just like what I just did. put on a pressure fitting so you can hook your compressor up. What I always do before I spray anything is I take this tip off, because a lot of times there's machining or filings or things in there that I want to make sure that this is tight. Hand tight is plenty good. And there's 8 little tiny holes in this. This is a 1.4 tip. You'll see there's 8, and they are so tiny. I'm not sure I can even show this with a macro lens. I'm not sure. But you always want to hold this up to a light bulb and make sure you don't have anything clogged in there or in these 2 passages. Once that's done, a brand new gun that's never been used, I'd put a couple of shot glasses of thinner, and you can use the cheapest lacquer thinner that you can buy to clean a gun, or urethane thinners a little bit more. Throw some thinner in there and just spray away, get a feel for the gun, how it's spraying. And what I like to do is turn this until it doesn't spray anything at all. Then back out about a turn and a half, and that's a good starting point. Take this, go all the way one way, all the way the other way, and then go right about in the middle to start with. If you're going to use the compressor, the gauge on your compressor, just back this out and just leave it there. And now, believe it or not, here you are for basically under 10 bucks, maybe 12 with the fitting. You can become a hobbyist sprayer, and you can learn how to spray. But however, you do need some paint to spray. So if you ever notice in my shop, there's spray guns everywhere. Little ones, small touch-up guns, big ones. There's a couple little rules of engagement that are worth knowing. This is the gun we just used, and by the way, this is a good way to load and unload the gun with paint. Have a vise handy, and don't overdo it. These little water filters, they seem to help, but I don't think it's critical. I have them on some guns, not on other ones. Not a big deal. The compressor I just bought this in the last year, and it's a noisy thing. I've made with John Pothia's idea, we made a little muffler for it. It's still noisy. I wish I could put it in my neighbor's kitchen or something and just run a tube over here. But a couple of things about these guns that are worth knowing. Now, here's the thing. As these guns get older and they're in service, and I have them all over the shop, you can see they're hanging up. They're hanging up here. Some have parts missing. Some have, I don't even know where some are. There's one back there. But the point is, we probably have 24 of them all together. The point is, it's a good idea if you're going to be practicing, to have a gun for each color. So in other words, I have a gun that has white in it. I have a gun that has yellow. We had a gun, oh here it is. I had a gun for Steve's red, always a gun with black, and it doesn't, see, this is one of the ones that starts to leak after a while. But the point is, none of this, the beautiful thing about paint, there's a thing about paint that's kind of unique. It's not like welding. You weld something and you cut it in half and now you can't fix it. And paint, you can always take the paint off and you can start all over again. So to practice it, there's a couple of rules of engagement that you need to know. If you're just gonna start out from ground zero, and that's the whole idea of what we do, is to share information. Good example, this is Turbo Steve's red. If you buy this paint modern, this is modern car paint, actually that's what it is. There's always a little code. You want to save that code. Steve takes a picture of it with his phone. You always want to mix that 50-50 and get it pretty accurate with 50% thinner. What seems to work good in our shop is mid-temp thinner, and this is 733. So you have 50-50. So if you buy yourself a can of paint, this is about $35 at where we buy it. I'm not sure what the thinner is. Steve bought the last one. But anyway, if you buy a gallon, of course, it's a third the price less. So, but anyway, if you mix this 50-50, that's a good starting point to go and paint something. And then keep in mind, this is my paint room. It's a mess. There's no doubt about it. This is messy work. This is not a hospital ward. You would not want to do eye surgery out here or anything. But the point is, things get painted out here, and we try to spend the time and energy on the parts of things that matter and sharing the information, making these videos every day. So here's my point, and I know this may be a little boring to watch. To get this quality of finish, the information is all available on the videos that I post every day. And I'm not going to go back over that over and over again, but a lot of people that want to start this get inspired. Let's say you have an old motorcycle, you've dropped it, you want to know how to put some Bondo in it. Well, you want to make it look like this. Well, watch all the videos. That's all I can say. It takes time and energy, but it doesn't take a lot of money. This is the good news. You need the spray gun that I just did a little show and tell on. And I wanted to do, let's get the spray gun out of here. I wanted to show a part like this that's really a nice finish, a good quality finish, way better than a factory finish, way better, not even close. To do that, a lot of sanding involved. Again, all the information's on the video to the best of my ability. But anything plastic or fiberglass I like to use, or that has old paint, primer, sealer. You're down to raw metal, not critical, and you could use self-etching primer. But we've found out, and Steve was the one who bought the first can of this, this works really well on plastic and going over old paint. So you would have a couple of coats of primer, and you would have your mix of paint, and you'd practice on some light bulbs. Fluorescent light bulbs are great, by the way. Save empty beer cans to paint. Usually the way this would work, you could go from 2 to 5 coats of primer, depending on how many times you're going to sand it out. Sand it between coats. I like to have on most colors, maybe except for black, 3 colors, 3 coats of 50-50 mix. And if you put 4, nothing bad happens. The last coat may be sanded with some 1500, 1200, touch it up, and then the big thing. And you want to wear a mask, of course, when you're doing the clear. This gets mixed 4 to 1. A gallon of this, I'm not sure what it is now. It was about 80 bucks the last time I bought it anyway. But maybe it's 100 now. But you can buy this even online and delivered right to your house. But I found in my shop the thing that made a difference, the fast hardener. Because the part when it's wet, when this part is wet, it's fly paper. And it's wet for about an hour sometimes in cold temperature. And here comes, Buzzy Bee. And here comes Sammy the squirrel. Ooh, it looks like a banana. I'll take a bite. And so you always have that vulnerability. Then as soon as it cures up, as soon as I can do this without leaving my fingerprint in it, I bring it inside and put it by a heating vent. Or the other way, if I get my nose right up on it and I can't smell the chemicals outgassing, then it's ready to, I call it cooking. In other words, put it up by the heating vent. But it is. Some people don't care. They just want to watch for entertainment. And some people, like myself, you're always digging for better quality information. And of course, I want to thank all the people that share their adventures on YouTube. Even the adventures I just enjoy watching. Some of them, well, a lot of them I learn from. And I hope a lot of people have learned from my good and bad experiences.
So once you have a spray gun set up, you need to practice a little bit with it. You need to understand that most things have to be sanded and primed to get an etch on them. You need to have some idea of what color you want to make it. And if you're going to clear coat it with some urethane clear, well, all of that is covered on our channel. Now, if you're new to the channel and you don't understand how this works, there's restorations of motorcycles that go through many, many videos. You can search the channel by being on the channel itself, and in the search bar, just put up paint, put up fuel tank, put up decals, put the search topic you're looking for. We've restored many, many motorcycles, total restoration, total paint jobs. We've painted wheels, we've painted helmets, we've painted just about everything. Crash damage repair. But you need to search that topic for the videos to come up. And when they come up in reverse order. The newest one will come up first. So usually you would want to search from the beginning to the end. But I have put out as much information as I can. I have been painting things for myself and for friends basically my whole life, over 60 years. And I try to share that information. I know the downside of this is my videos get longer than what some people are willing to watch because they want instant gratification like you do with a cell phone. My videos are aimed at people that are willing to watch every single step and at the end of it have a pretty good idea of how to do that project on your own. Now, and if you run into a problem or a question, put that question in the comments section. I try to answer that twice a day. I've tried to help other people learn how to paint. I call it the A-Team. We have, I'm going to guess, a dozen or so people that have learned to paint in my shop, went on to be very successful at doing their own, and there's a list that I can't even imagine how many people have learned from the videos and have sent me comments that they have been very successful. So I hope you have enjoyed watching this video and picked up some very, very useful information for yourself. And I've found in my own life learning how to paint and refinish things has been a lot of fun. I'm really happy to share that information any way I can, and the best way I've ever found to do that is on YouTube videos. Now, if you're new to our channel, we have a very, very eclectic channel. One of the new features we have now is some of the videos are grouped into groups that you can access all the videos for one category in one mouse click. And it should be very convenient and very handy. Just check out the feature on the main screen playlist. And thanks to everybody for supporting the channel. We appreciate your support, and it makes this channel possible with all the things we do, the painting, the wheels, the polishing. And please take a second or two and hit the like button. And thanks everyone for watching.